which you're going to be doing in a couple of minutes. But let's just run through another kind of real-life example. You are on your way to campus, you have an important meeting, an exam or something, and you are caught at a traffic light, and it won't change. Is that a problem?
Yes.
Yeah, right? You're going to be late, you're going to miss the exam, and the professor's going to lock the door on you. Okay, so what is there about understanding the problem? What is in that situation? What do we have to understand about that? We've been in that. Everyone's been in that situation if you've driven a car before, right? You have been caught at a light that won't change. Well, what do you take into consideration while you are sitting there? What are all the pieces of understanding that come into play?
Maybe that you can't do anything about it.
Okay, so maybe you can't do anything about it.
Maybe what you're going to say to the person when you get there and
Okay.
you're late.
You might be thinking about what's going to happen later, but let's focus on what about right now. You take into consideration everything that's in front of you. Where am I at the light? Am I the first car at the light? Am I the fourth car at the light? Right? We take all of this into... We've been in a situation enough, though, that we don't even think about taking all of that information in. We just take it all in. Okay, so now we're going to carry out a plan. We're caught at this light. It won't change. We're going to be late for the exam. We're going to fail the course as a result. Adding all these extra negative things to this. So what options do we have?
Trying to find ways to get there as quick as possible.
Okay, so we need to think about ways to get there. Okay, so what are some of the ways to get around this light?
Take back roads. So you don't...
Okay, so
Stop
maybe
at another
back
way.
up and go a different way or something like that. Okay, that's an option, right? We try to see if we can turn around or something. What else?
Once the light turns green, drive more quickly than you would normally.
Okay, but the problem right now isn't that the lights turned green and we're late. The problem right now is that the light is red and will not change. So what can we do? What options do we have? Oh,
You
come
can
on.
already plan to be, have it in your mind that you're going to be late, so figure out something to get in contact with your professor.
Okay, so that again still is looking about later and doesn't get us through this light, right? So let's focus on that one part of... So we're thinking about that too. We're panicked and we're stressed out, right? And all of that is part of what we go through. But let's focus on this one part of the problem right now. We have that red light. What can we do?
Depending on how important it is to you to get where you're going, you might just decide to go anyway.
Okay, so run the light is an option, right? So we have two options right now. We can try to back up and go some other way, or we can run the light. What else? Okay, we can turn right on red, maybe, depending on where we are, right? That's a possibility. What else?
Run there.
Just get out, leave your car, and run. That's a possibility. That's a plan. What else?
Just wait.
Just wait, because it might not really be as long as it feels. What else? Get out and push the crosswalk button. Hope it changes the light, right? We have all kinds of possibilities. In some places, maybe we can turn left on red, depending on where we are, right? Certain intersections, you can do that legally. So we have all these possibilities. Run the light, just get out and run. Wait, go a different way, back up, turn right or turn left on red as appropriate. All these kind of possibilities. Okay, which one do you do? Well, we've thought about a bunch of different plans, and what do? Now we pick one and we carry it out. Okay, I can see that you want to pick the one. Let's run the light. Okay, so we run the light. We execute the plan. What can happen? We might get pulled over, right? We might get stopped and get a ticket.
You might cause an accident.
We might cause an accident. What else might happen?
Nothing, and you just
Nothing, and we just go to class and we take the exam and everything's fine. A lot of things can happen, right? But when we first run that light, we better be looking back and around to make sure we don't get that ticket. But if we do, it's too late anyway, right? So we look at this process and we say, okay, I executed the plan. if my plan was run the light, lots of bad things can happen, some good things can happen, some neutral things can happen. But what do we look at? Was that a good plan? It worked this time, solved the problem this time. In general, is that a good plan? Probably not a good plan, right? So even though it might work sometimes, it doesn't mean that it's a good plan. If you sit and wait and the light finally changes, if that was your plan, and then you're late for the exam and you actually are locked out, maybe that wasn't a good plan either, right? So there's all these processes. We do this in real life. We do that all the time. But we don't think about doing it.